Good miss there.
I'm bowling.
Down in the gutter like my bowling.
Jungle's back. No ball review today, but we got some cool information for you. We get lots of questions in the shop. What makes an oil pattern difficult? What makes an oil pattern easy? The first answer that comes to my mind is always the ratio, right? But what does that mean? So a high ratio means that there's lots of oil in the middle and not a lot of oil on the outside part of the lane. And as the ratio gets smaller, like 1:1, that means the oil spread across the lane very evenly. So that makes the pattern very difficult. We got Jacob and Sean today. We're gonna demonstrate an easy pattern, and then a challenge pattern, which is kind of like medium difficulty, and then a sport pattern, which is high difficulty. The sport pattern is what the PBA guys bowl on, so you really be able to see how good those guys really are. Speaking of PBA guys, our good buddy Mitch Hoope wants to come do a ball review video for us. Come on, Mitch, we're waiting. We need to fire Barks ASAP. So if you'd like to read more on how ratios are explained and more in depth, visit this website right here. Okay, so today Jake and Sean are gonna be bowling on 3 different patterns, all medium length. We're gonna start with Wall Street, 40 feet, very high ratio, so very easy difficulty. The second pattern we're gonna be bowling on is Middle Road. It's 5:1, 5.25 to be exact. So like medium difficulty. And on the third pattern, it's gonna be Chameleon. It's one of the PBA patterns. It's 2:1, very difficult, very hard to strike, and very hard to average 200. So in order to show you the difficulty of the patterns, Jake and Sean are gonna line up and strike on each of the patterns, and then we're gonna miss a little bit left and a little bit right at the arrows, and we're gonna see the ball reaction down lane. So on Wall Street, very high ratio. I expect them to get a strike and then miss a little bit left. The ball's gonna sit there and probably hit the pocket still, and then they're gonna miss right, a couple boards at the arrows, and I expect it to hook back and hit the pocket again. So lots of room for error there, probably 4 or 5 boards at the arrows at least. On the other end of the spectrum, the sport pattern, when they miss right, I expect that ball to go right by the head pin and maybe get 7. And if they miss a little bit left, I expect to go through the face, maybe even Brooklyn. So we can really tell the difficulty of patterns right here. They're also gonna be throwing the new balls. Jake's gonna be throwing the Idle Synergy from Roto Grip, 2-hander, lots of revs, so thought this ball would be really good for him. And then we got Sean, the Proton Physix, your one-handed stroker type player, very simple game. All right, let's go watch Sean and Jake throw some shots down the lane.
Thank you, Jimoo. It's Jimoo here. Today we have the Idle Synergy.
Wonder where you got that from.
So this is the recreational pattern, Wall Street. Target is going to be third arrow, aka 15. Okay, so hit my target. That was the strike shot that we got right there. Now we're gonna try to miss a bit inside 15. Had this ball for a couple days now. I really like it. Let's miss inside. Missed inside, still held its line, enough oil in the middle to push the ball through. We hit the target, and then we missed a bit inside, and it struck and held its line. Let's miss a bit right, see if it works. Yeah, perfect. Missed a bit right, and it was still able to curve back into the pocket. So how about we move on to the Proton Physix with my brother. Sean here, got the brand new Proton Physix. And the boys finally let me out of the shop, so here on the house shot, let's try to throw a strike. Decent shot there, didn't throw it the best, but I'll take it. I was roughly around 17 at the arrows there, so I'm gonna try to miss this one a little bit right, probably around third arrow, see if it comes back. That was a good one there. Right over the third arrow, you saw kind of got a little bit wider, but the ball really digs. And you know, when you throw the ball like me, you need as much help as you can get. And obviously the house shot helps. So gonna try to tug this one left, but let's try to go right over 19 or 20. Good miss there, good tug. Miss left there, went right over 20, but you saw the ball really got down further in the oil, went through the pins really good. That's why we love house shots here. Got miss room on the right and the left. Let's move over to our challenge pattern.
Back to Jimoo. Now we're on the challenge pattern. I don't know why my dad's in the background over here. Let's get lined up here. Strike here. So let's go same target. Okay, so we hit the 15 board, third arrow. Now we're gonna try to miss a tiny bit left. So one or two off of 15, aim for 17 or so. Standing in the same place. So just the ball missing. Wow. Yeah, I'm very surprised. I hit 17 on that shot and it went Brooklyn. It just shows that the challenge, you don't have as much room to miss. We missed in and then it didn't hold its line. Let's see if we can miss out and see if it's able to round the corner and come back. Okay, I did miss right there, hit 13. It was able to come back, but as you noticed, it was kind of a half hit. It's kind of through the messenger, meaning the ball came behind the head pin. So definitely less room to miss on this challenge pattern as opposed to the recreational. How about we go back to Simoo, see what the Proton does.
Here on the challenge shot, gonna do the same thing, try to strike. Might take a couple takes, here we go. I like that one. So I thrown a couple shots. The ball is definitely picking up a little bit earlier, a little bit too hard off the spot. So I'm gonna try to hit in between third and fourth arrow again, but move my feet probably 3 boards left. Good one there, right in between 17, 18 there. Roughly the same line I used on the house shot. Jung's having a bit of trouble behind the camera, but it's all good. We'll forgive him.
What do you mean? I'm a professional.
Professional bowler, maybe. Gonna miss it, right? Try to hit around 15, see what happens. Good miss there, rolled right over 15. And you saw it didn't have the legs to get back. Saw the ball leak out to the right, and it just slid way too far and didn't have the legs to get back without the friction that the house shot did. All right, so now I'm gonna try to miss my line a little bit left. Pretty good miss left there. Definitely 2 or 3 boards in, and you can see it just wanted to turn and go right through the face. A lot different than the house shot where push, get a little bit of forgiveness. We're gonna change batteries and head over to the sport.
All ready? Quiet on set. Thank you.
You tell him, Jimmy.
Yeah, quiet on set. I'm bowling. Welcome. Welcome back. Finally, last but definitely least, forgiveness that is, we have sport. We're bowling on the Chameleon pattern, which is an animal, or Chameleon. Okay, so we're gonna throw the same ball that we did on the other patterns, and hopefully we can get lined up and strike. That was a nice strike. I went over 16 at the arrows. So now, like before, let's miss a couple boards left and see. I don't think you'll be able to hold up, but let's try. Aiming for 18, 19 area. Oh yeah, totally. Hit 19, just smack left, right through the nose. So that's the reason why it's so difficult. There's no room to miss to the left. And let's see if there's anything to the right. I doubt it, but let's try. We'll aim 14, 13 area. Just right of third arrow. Yeah, hit 14. So only 2 right of my original line, and it went light and left the 2-4-8. Kind of annoying how hard sport shots are. There's just not enough room to either side. Let's give it to Simoo and let's see what he does.
Just saw Jacob here out on the sport, Chameleon. Hopefully there's some How I Met Your Mother fans out there. Gonna try to strike. Good one there. Let's try to miss left and right, see how low of a count I can get. Wow, that's like a board right. So I missed that shot, maybe about 2 boards to the right of my strike shot. You saw the ball just kept sliding and had no chance at the pocket. Left a pretty nasty split. So that one missed 2 or 3 boards left, and you saw the ball just checked up super early and went Brooklyn. So it just shows you go 2 boards right, you might be lucky to catch the head pin, 2 boards left, and you're going through the nose or maybe worse.
Sean and I are here today, and we've started this tradition, asking questions, putting it down in the comments below. So our question for you today is...
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. What is the hardest oil pattern you've ever bowled on?
Comment down below.
All right, we're back from the lanes. Move this friggin' table back onto the approach here. Thanks, Barks. Good for something. They bowl on the house pattern, which is Wall Street. As you can see, Jake, first of all, got a strike, missed a little bit left, hit the pocket again, strike, missed a little bit right, 2 boards at the arrows, struck again. So you can see that pattern's gonna yield some really high scores. Sean did the same thing, struck, missed a little bit left, missed a little bit right, still hit the pocket with all 3 shots. Not bad. And then we went over the challenge pattern, middle road, 5-1. So definitely harder than the house pattern, but still not as hard as the sport patterns that the PBA guys bowl on. So Jake threw a strike, and then when he missed a little bit left, it went through the face this time, right? A little bit less room for error when he missed left, but then when he missed right, he got a light strike. So a little bit of room for error, but not much. Shawnee on middle road, missed a little bit right after striking. 6 off the right. You know, the ball didn't have enough legs to get back. As you can see, you know. As you can see, less friction on the outside, right? Missed a little bit right. On the house pattern, came back, hit the pocket. This pattern, 6 off the right. Still a makeable spare, but pretty ugly. And then when Shawnee missed left, you went through the schnoz, left a makeable spare again, but yet you don't want to be going through the nose, right? That's just recipe for disaster. So on the sport pattern, like the Chameleon, so an old PBA pattern, what the PBA guys bowl on every week. Jake threw a strike, missed a little bit left, through the nose, almost went Brooklyn. Now you can see how much that ball hooked when he just missed 2 boards left. We're all the way on the house shot, missed 2 boards left, still hit the pocket, got a strike. So you can really see the difference there. When he missed a little bit to the right, he left a 2-4-8, you know, pretty close to a 2-4-8-10, which is really bad. So you can really see the margin of error is really, really tight on those patterns, especially on the fresh. Then Shawnee bowled on the sport pattern, threw a strike, and then he missed a little bit left, went Brooklyn. So as you can see how much that ball really hooked when he just missed 2 boards to the left. And then when he missed right, he left some pretty ugly split there. So you can really see the difference from the house pattern to the sport pattern of the margin of error that you have. So if you're wondering what your average would be on a challenge or a sport pattern if you bowl on a house shot, like a high ratio pattern like 9-1 or 10-1, USBC has a conversion chart which you can pick out your average and go across, and you can see what you would probably average on a challenge and a sport pattern. So that's pretty cool. And you can go the other way too. If you bowl on a challenge league or a sport league, you can go the other way and see what your average would be on a house pattern or a recreational pattern for that matter. But that link as well will be in the description, so you can go have a look at that. It's pretty cool. We all watch bowling on TV, right? Those guys are bowling on 2-1, 1-1 patterns every week, and you can see how big the scores are on TV, right? That's how good those guys are. Their dispersion of their shots is really small, right? They don't miss too far to the right or too far to the left at all at any time. So that's why they can hit the pocket a lot, get strikes, or leave themselves single pin spares to pick up. So that's why their scores are going to be much higher than someone whose dispersion is a lot wider, where they're going to go through the nose, leave splits, miss right, leave washouts, and unsparable leaves, right? So that's what separates the pros from the regular league bowlers on your everyday Thursday night league. So if I have some advice for you guys, if you're gonna go bowl on a challenge or a sport pattern in a tournament, you know, bring your spare ball. You're gonna need it a lot. And secondly, don't get mad if you're gonna leave a lot of single pins. That's gonna happen. The ball's not gonna go through the pins the right way all the time because the pattern is that hard, right? So don't get mad if you're hitting the pocket and not getting strikes. You know, make your spare, move on to the next shot, because it's hard. It's gonna be hard for everyone. There's one last thing Junga wants to touch on. Don't get hung up on your average, right? If you're bowling multiple tournaments, multiple different houses, don't get hung up on what your average is. for that particular tournament or overall for that year, right? It's what your average is compared to the field you're bowling against, right? If the conditions are really difficult and you're averaging 205 and you're winning, you know, you're a great bowler, right? You're gonna win the tournament. But if the scoring pace around you is 220, 225, you know, a little bit easier condition, maybe it's a house pattern like Wall Street, you know, and you're only averaging 205, then you got some work to do, right? So don't look at just your average. If someone averages 205 on a really tough condition, and if someone averages 205 on a really easy condition, it's not the same, right? Apples and oranges. So a little golf analogy for you. If you're shooting good score 72 on an easy course and someone who scores 72 on a really difficult course, right? They both shot 72, but the way they shot it, the course they're playing on, totally different. You can't compare the two. Same thing in bowling. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you're not sick of the jungle yet. I certainly am not. Drop a comment down below of the hardest pattern you've ever bowled on. We want to see what you guys come up with because we want to try it maybe. Stay tuned for our next video.